2014 to the present.
The show is still on their feet, but has it gone down in quality? Has the flash of speed decreased? What is it about? Before we begin, I should note that Season 5 hasn't gone up yet, as I am writing this video in September 21st. Predictions? Cisco dies. Technically, the pilot was a random episode of The Arrow as Barry Allen guest starred in. The show is drastically different than any comic book and cartoon, as it is a more modernized version, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. With the success of the first season, the comic decided to follow suit and make the West family black.
That's not racist.
Barry Allen is your average forensic scientist, as the beginning of every episode wants to remind you. 9 months later, after a coma, Barry wakes up in Star Labs.
Are we in Metropolis?
No, apparently Star Labs is located in Central City. Okay, I'm not going to rag on the show for geographical errors, but I will rag on the villains. The villains in the show or movie are really important to the plot, and the main protagonist itself. However, none of that applies to the episodes, as the show just puts them in a simple reference and then they die. Weather Wizard dies. Multiplex dies. There are some villains that survived. I mean, look at the Mist. It wasn't until later in Season 1 where the Mist escaped to be on Gotham. And there are other villains that are wasted upon heavily, we will get to those two later. So the 4 complete seasons tend to have a general narrative, which means they have the big bad of the season. If done poorly, it's really bad. Let's take a look at the good and go to the big bad of Season 1, being the Reverse Flash. Now the twist is that Harrison Wells is the Reverse Flash, but us audience already knew he was at episode 9, with some out of the ordinary hints in the episodes previous. This is what is known to be dramatic irony, as we get chills seeing Harrison Wells do something heroic by helping Barry defeat the throwaway villain, but we know that he plans to take advantage of the flash of speed later on. I really like the idea, and while there were some missteps,
Cough, cough. Episode 15. Cough, cough.
they later fixed the missteps and made sense of it. So, what are their plans for Season 2? Let's see, we have parallel universes.
Another speedster? Really?
Yeah, the next 2 seasons also had speedsters, and the big plot lines also revolve around unmasking them. I know I seem a bit bitter, but there are some good scenes, but seriously? Doesn't help that Zero is literally a carbon copy of the Reverse Flash in terms of plot lines.
Oh, look, it's a guy that says he can help. Oh no, Barry doesn't trust him. Oh, okay, they're friends now. Oh, he's even made friends with the other characters. Oh no, it just revealed that he's a hand-handed of Zero and he was evil all along. What? Too obvious of a real? Don't worry, we have the Iron Mask Man.
This is something that really bothers me with how the show addresses the villains in general. The side villains are just there for reference or for filler with their character plot lines, and the main villain's secret identity is just too much, especially if you're a Savitar.
Sorry if I got a little carried away, but I'm still not done.
So, how could they fix these problems? Make the season shorter or have 2 big bads? That way you don't have to use filler and rely on the other characters, or plot lines to fill out a 40-minute episode. But wait, the Thinker was a villain that didn't rely on secret identities.
Yes, and he still sucks.
I may be contradicting myself a little bit, but yes, the Thinker doesn't have a secret identity when compared to the other 3. But the execution was so bad. People really don't like Season 4. Now, to be fair, I was with them until the first part, but it wasn't until episode 7 where it started to go downhill. Now, for those who don't know, episode 7 is where you find out that DeVoe is supposedly the Thinker. Now, it's good that Barry remembers the hint that he was given in Season 3, but then I don't know. After Barry escaped, it was like they had no idea how to resolve this, because the Thinker isn't going around brain-sucking the bad guys.
Like a milkshake.
And then the Thinker takes on their physical form, voice, and everything, which is sometimes disturbing if you know the connotations behind it. Were my expectations too high? Probably. Though I really wanted to see him take over the Flash, as it would have been interesting. Granted, you could say then another speedster would be the enemy, however, Elongated Man, Cisco and Hitler would be the people fighting him, so it's a different execution, unlike the previous fights. Instead, we got Multiplex again, not the good one. So I think the Flash kinda went downhill, but where did it go wrong? The show didn't take advantage of the villains. All they did was use them for simple references, nothing more but nothing less. We did get decent episodes revolving the side villains, but 2 is not enough. The show saw its downfall in season 3 with the interesting Dr. Alchemy, but then he was completely thrown aside and never spoken of ever again. Also doesn't help that for every season they have to come up with some excuse for the population increase of villains. Season 1, Particle Accelerator. Season 2, Alternate Universes. Season 3, Gift from God. Season 4, Boss. Can't wait for the excuse for Season 5. The show slowly has been turning into more of a sitcom/soap with the absence of a laugh track. It just makes jokes fall flat. Example,
The Flash skipped leg day.
okay, now about Captain Cold. Captain Cold was and still is one of the best villains the show ever had.
So, how did they screw it all?
Well, in the tail end of season 1, they wanted to have this plot line where Captain Cold did something good, and then there were 2 episodes in the next season expanding onto that. And then he became a time traveler along with his friend Heatwave.
Okay, so how did they screw it up more?
Captain Cold died by Protein Ultron for Avengers 2, and Mick became Drax, pretty much. Okay, now for the good things about the show.
There are none.
Okay, I'm joking. I really like the Elongated Man from season 4. The special effects at times are really good, except for a few instances in season 3 specifically.
Wow, even when I try to get compliments, I still end up making a nitpick.
I guess it was the level of expectations that came to the show. There are many different possibilities, yet the show turned them down. I know this is a cartoon, but Spectacular Spider-Man had 26 episodes. You could probably name all the characters and the personality traits of the villains. I've been asking for Shade to appear in the show for so long, and when he finally did appear in season 3, there was nothing memorable or good about him. Yay, he's black hair. Invigorating. So The Flash is overall a pretty decent show. When you watch them back to back, though, the amount of filler is atrocious, and should just shorten down the seasons or have just 2 arcs.
So, we usually end with a joke, so what is it?